I'm Ian Rush and you're watching the Redmen TV.
Hello, welcome to the Redmen TV on an evening that saw Steve Clarke complete the Premier League double over his former employers. As his West Brom side beat Liverpool 2-0 at Anfield, it's another one of those weeks which I look forward to with such glee and hope in my heart. Before we talk about the match, let's have a look at some of your Facebook comments then. Bite the bullet, so to speak. Nick Weir says, can't decide who was worse today, Johnson, Agger or Lucas. Funny thing is they all got 90 minutes. Pathetic substitutions. Brendan. We're going to take a little break from the norm with match reaction. I'm going to respond comment by comment. I think look, I understand we're a bit upset post match and understandably so. It's the language that always gets me, like, because I mean substitutions wise, okay, I don't think substitutions was the issue. It was the starting 11 that was the issue for me. I mean substitutions wise, you know, you've got to get, ultimately, if you want to try and salvage the game or want to try and win the game second half, you've got to get your most attacking players on the pitch. You've got to get Barini, Sterling and Coutinho on there. I'm not sure who else you can take off. I thought maybe Henderson should have stayed on, just to give us a little bit more bite midfield. Maybe move Suarez out wide and Barini through the middle. But on the whole, I can't fault the substitutions. It's more that I think we maybe should have gambled a little bit more in the first half. Okay, Robert Kenneth Speed. Too many doom and fucking gloom messages here. Just a bad day at the office. Would have been different if Stevie G stick to the same corner. Miss Sturridge. Bring on the next game. Yeah, I know. The thing is, the problem is that it's this expression "bad day at the office." We've said this a little bit too many times in the last sort of 3 months, but not really in 2013. So it is very much a strange one. Looking at the chances created, the shots on goal, the possession over the course of the game, we did enough to win it, except we didn't. And the fact of the matter is, as Robert points out there, Steven Gerrard sticks the penalty away. It's a different game, and that for me is a big point we've got to cling to here. Yes, very disappointing losing 2-0, but that being said, if Steven Gerrard scores that's the one goal you need. Whether we go on and push on and get more is not the point. You're in the lead, and that's all you need from that game. West Brom are then forced to change their approach, and the complexion of the game changes completely, and you'd have your house on Steven Gerrard scoring that penalty. But then again, Ben Foster, absolute worldy form, and a game, you know, we've said this time and time again over the last couple of years at Anfield, but we've not said it that much this season. You know, we've been a lot more clinical at Anfield, and Ben Foster, you've got to tip your hat to him, and let's give credit where credit's due for a former Manc. Magnificent performance from him, and it's funny because you've got like England's #1 in Joe Hart has been shit in the last few weeks, and on the whole not great this season. Performance like that from Ben Foster, does he put himself in with a shout of getting the England #1 jersey back? I don't really care, but it's a question. If you're interested, answer that question. Should Ben Foster be England's #1 based on that performance compared to Joe Hart's performance against Southampton? Yes, answer that one. Chelsea Fitzsimmons, how many times have we been the better team and lost? Jose and Glenn were shocking today. We deserve nothing from this game. Keep the faith, but fourth is beyond us. Yeah, fourth is definitely beyond us. It's one of those fantasy land things. If by some crazy sequence of events we got it, then it's praise the Lord, hallelujah, and dancing bollock naked in the streets time, which is sad because it shows really how far we've fallen. But that being said, you're right. You know, we dominated that, and yet we weren't very good today. But sometimes that goes in your favour. If Gerrard scores the penalty and we win that, you come away thinking, okay, we've gotten through that game. We maybe didn't deserve to win it, but we've got there. What was the point? Jose and Glenn shocking. Yeah, completely agree. Jose Enrique, that is Jose Enrique's worst. That's the Jose Enrique that started the season and we saw a bit at the second half of last season and we thought not good enough to play for Liverpool. Not the one that we've seen under Rodgers, the man resurgent who's been flying down the wings and causing havoc with every touch. He caused havoc with every touch just to himself today. So no, poor performance. Whether it's him just coming back to fitness, whether he's been told that he's playing all 3 games this week, which wouldn't surprise me, and he's trying to keep himself fit, which is sad because that's you've got to concentrate on the game that's in front of you, win it and then move on. So yeah, anyway, I don't know past that. Let's see. Josh Kaluti says, can't believe how much we already rely on Sturridge. Yeah, completely agree, Josh. It felt like I described like City and to a certain extent Arsenal is like watching Liverpool back in maybe not 2009 but 2007 again, where it looked like Liverpool back again. It looked like Liverpool with Torres, but today we look like Liverpool back in 2007, 2008, 2009 without Fernando Torres, and that's the problem when you get used to a player like that. We were toothless. We were considered toothless before we signed him. We've been flying since he come in, and that just seemed like we'd gone back to square one again, which is a bit upsetting. But you know, at least hopefully when he's, you know, we've not rushed him back for this game. Hopefully he'll be fit for maybe for Swansea and for the games to come for the rest of the season, because we definitely need to keep him as fit as possible. Okay, and I'm gonna take two more. Let's have Torland Rama. What's scary is there's not progress at all from last season. We're out to the Capital One Cup and the FA Cup, and Zenit is waiting for us now in Europa League. How are we supposed to win against them when we can't even win against a shitty West Brom team? Never felt more robbed for a point or three more than tonight. And I don't get that though. This goes back to what we constantly talk about. This constant shifting between happiness and crisis, this bipolar reaction. What's this? Just because we've not won that game, do you think we're going to go out and think Zenit's no hope? I think the opposite. I think that when we have a game like that, I always think we tend to come a lot stronger in the game that follows it. So I actually am quite looking forward to, regardless of that result, against it. And very much the way our season's gone is the last fixture very rarely seems to inform what happens in the next game, with the exception of what I mentioned of maybe getting a little bit of backlash when we've performed poorly. The fact is, Anfield empties out on 90 minutes when that second goal goes in. Brendan Rodgers talked in December to us in the fan briefing about how he took it to heart. I think it would have been the Villa game. That was very similar in that respect, and you know, the players and the manager and need to respond to that kind of I think the Chris used the expression voting with your feet, which I don't really like, but the players need to go out against Zenit and they need to go out against Swansea and say, well, hang on, fucking hell, you know what I mean? Those games happen, but that's not the Liverpool that we are. They're just freak results. We're going to go out and show you what we can really do. Fingers crossed they do. Yes, and I'm going to round up with Don. I'm going to go for the Spanish pronunciation and say Don Doble, because why not? I'm more dreading the extreme overreactions on Twitter / Facebook than I am concerned with the loss. Some serious extremists support LFC, and you know, this has been the consistent theme of the last 2 years, really, particularly on this show. Try not to take it too much to heart. As I say, it's slim margins. We should be beating West Brom. Was the performance good enough? No, of course it wasn't. But that being said, it's just. Is it just football? Is it just football? Is it indicative of a larger problem at Liverpool Football Club? As I always say, I tend to think that the vast majority of people will think it's the former rather than the latter, and for those who believe in the latter, I certainly think that you need to. It goes back to this whole optimism argument, is that you need to remember that as long as the optimists still think that it's not the fucking end of the world, then it's not actually the end of the world. It's when the optimists think it's the end of the world, then you need to start worrying. Anyway, what I'm really interested to know, a couple of things. Obviously, we're going to be filming it. We're going to have our proper reaction to this match on the subscriber show this week, which you can check out for free on theredmentv.com for a month if you want to sign up. I want to know a couple of things. I want to know who was your man of the match. Slim pickings, I know, but please do let me know who did just about enough in that game. Who of the 11 players plus who made it on a red shirt tonight, who can hold their heads up high? Past that, who really let you down in a red shirt? Who was the standout underperformer of the game? Let me know that in the comment section as well. And also, if you've got any more thoughts on how we go about replacing Jamie Carragher, please do watch our Jamie Carragher retirement video and tribute video. We're going to be talking a little bit more about that on the show this week. Yes, anyway, thank you very much for watching. One last thing, of course, you'll be delighted to know that the voting for the Shorty Awards has been extended to the 18th. Yes, so that's a whole other week where I can fucking Baggies to vote. We actually done really well in the last week when people thought it was closing. If you missed out and you thought, oh no, it didn't quite get me voting in time, do it now. Go and do it now. shortyawards.com/theredmen TV. See how we're doing. We had it up to 800 odd, still 1500 behind first place. What are you going to do? We've got a week left to do it. I think it's pretty much impossible, but you know what? Prove me wrong. Go for it. Anyway, thanks very much for watching. See you after Zenit. See you after Swansea. See you on the subscriber show. See you in the street. Say hello if you see me. Anyway, I'll be on the Anfield wrap as well. That should be good. Anyway. Thanks very much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't done so already. Don't forget to share the videos, leave your comments below, etc, etc, etc. Thanks for watching, and good night.